Hey everybody, welcome to All Things Knit and Stitches. I'm Nicole, and this is where I come and talk about all the stuff I'm getting up to craft-wise. Today's video is going to be all about quilting, and I'm going to talk about this all Texas shop hop. So first up, I want to explain like what this is, and then I want to show you guys all the haul that I got. I have it all around me on this table here that I picked up on my first outing, which was last week of the shop hop. And I have two more trips planned. One is, my region close by, which is the Fort Worth, Dallas area, and then another one to San Antonio. So today's is going to be all about the Waco, Austin area, part of Houston, and then I'll have the other two like coming up. So let's jump into what this actually is, and so you guys know what I'm talking about if you're not familiar. So I found out about this last year, and that was the first year that I participated in it. And basically, they do this in other states, but in Texas, this is during the month of March. And so they divide up the state into regions, and then they list all of the participating shops. And then all of the shops will give you a quilt block when you go in, like this, that's designed specifically for their shop. And they will also give you a stamp in your passport here in the middle, and that represents their store. And then at the end, you mail in this middle yellow part, and you're in it to win prizes. Now, there's no purchase necessary other than this magazine, which is $12.95. You can go straight into the shops and just say, I'm shop hopping, and they will stamp your book and give you a quilt block, and you can go on your way. They do have other entries, like in some stores they have other giveaways going on that you can enter. They have sales, they have different specials, like just stuff to do with the shop hop, but you do not have to purchase anything other than the catalog to participate. And most of the time when you go in, they will ask you hey, are you looking for anything, are you shop hopping or whatever, and you just tell them you're shop hopping, and then we'll just go straight to taking care of your book. And then you can just kind of look around at your leisure. I have never experienced anyone that has been pushy or anything like that. Everybody, usually in the crafting community, but definitely with all these quilt shops that I visit, are super friendly and, just want to talk about fabric and quilts and all the pretty things. And so there's no pressure to ever buy anything. You wouldn't know that from what I have to show you today, but if you're a crafter at all, it's hard to resist all the pretty things, and you just want to make everything. So the regions are divided up like this. You get a picture of the map and kind of to orient yourself on where everything's at, and then everything is listed, the participating shops, all of their information, their address, phone number, website if they have one, their regular store hours, and also their extended store hours, because a lot of them will extend their hours during the shop hop. And also in this catalog, there are tons of quilting patterns. So you have one here. There is a line of fabric that they put out that's just for the shop hop, and they, all the stores have that. And obviously you can make these with anything you want, but the fabric is pretty cool. So here's another one, which is this is a big panel. So yeah, there's lots of information here. There's ads and all the information about all the shops, like I said. And this is just a really good resource to keep for, in the future, if you're traveling around to different parts. So this kind of tells you all of the other states that participate and the dates. So, and like I said, they have a website, which I'll put below. And it says they also have a Facebook page. And so I'll put all of that below so you can check it out. And then maybe if you're not in Texas, you can check out where your state is, and you can participate. And it's just a really cool, like I said, it's a really cool way to find new quilt shops and you know, just get out there and have a reason to like go around and just see all the pretty things and stuff. So I am going to jump in to what I picked up on my travels. So I did the Central region the first day. So these are not in any kind of order. I just have them kind of grouped together by project. If I do remember where I got it, I'll let you know. But I'm going to try to put all of the shops that I hit down below. And then if I know like patterns and fabrics and stuff like that, like I'll try to list that as well. Okay, so first up, this was the Honeybee Quilt store in Austin, Texas. And I picked up this pattern. They had a sample of this, not in the fabric that I got, but they did have a sample of it, which I thought was really pretty. I love these postcard patterns. They are just real simple. The patterns on the back, it usually just uses a like some kind of pre-cut. This uses back quarters. And these are like my speed because I think these are very forgiving because it's just like a lot of straight lines. It's a really good way to practice, and it's busy enough that I think it kind of hides like mistakes. So I always love these. And this is the fabric that I picked up to do that quilt. So I got a bunch of fat quarters in these pretty grays and pinks, blacks. And then I got the stripe for the binding. And then I got this really pretty gray pink floral for the backing. So that was my first purchase. And okay, so then I don't remember where I got this from, but I picked up this jelly roll in another shop, and this is Dog Days. And it has prints that just have different dog prints on them. It's a pretty cool color palette. And I already had this quilt pattern, the Luna quilt, but they had a sample of this, not in this fabric, but they did have this done on the wall. And I really liked it. And I thought I knew I already had this pattern, so I went ahead and grabbed this to do this pattern. And it's pretty cool because I have a dog named Luna, so dog fabric and the Luna quilt. Okay, so I also picked up this. I picked this up, I'm pretty sure, in Elgin in the Painted Raven, which is a really cute store that was on the drive between Austin and Houston. In this little town. The town's like super cute. I love driving around Texas because all of the little towns are just super cute. They all have, you know, these really cool courthouses and squares, and it's just really cool to drive around. So I've been very lucky to be able to do that, you know, as my husband drives around the state. So anyway, I picked this up, and I was thinking I'm not gonna do these little triangles. I was thinking that I was going to see if I could find some purple fabric and do this purple, because my son is in at TCU, which is the Horned Frogs here in Fort Worth, and I thought that would be really cute. And it shows on the back, these are squares. This is like it's got the triangles and then the background is squares, but this is they added a couple borders, and I might do it like this because this looks like the colors for UT, and that would be really cute to just do it, you know, find some purple, maybe not a solid, just like a low like volume, or you know, something that's like a small print, and do that. I thought that'd be really cute. So yep, I got that. And then I picked up this fabric. I think this was from a shop in Conroe, which is North Houston. And I just thought these little outlines of Texas were really cute. And then I got this for the inside because I was thinking I'd make project bags with these. Because I do cross stitching and knitting, and so you can never have too many project bags. So I thought that was really cute. And then this was also at the Painted Raven, which was in Elgin. And I hope I'm saying that right, because everything is like spelled one way and you say it completely different. But anyway, this was on sale, and I just really like the colors, and you can never go wrong with a fat quarter bundle. So I picked this up as well, and I figured I would either I might make a quilt. I need to see if I can still get backing fabric or find something that matches, or I may just make project bags with it. So, but I just like the colors. Okay, next up, I have a couple more of these little postcard patterns that I really like. Like I said, they're just busy enough that I think they're very forgiving. I've been sewing for a long time, but I haven't been quilting for a long time, so I'm still, you know, learning to be precise. I saw this. This was at a shop in Austin that was very, this vibe, like very modern, bright colors. It was a really cool shop to go in, and I just really like this quilt. It says that it's beginner friendly, and with the right fabric line, I thought it would look really good, so I grabbed that. And then in the same shop, I also got this Hexie pillow. They had it as like a table runner, and I thought that was really cool too, so I got that. It says it's a modern, or it's a faster version of English paper piecing. So I have dabbled a little bit in English paper piecing, and so I'll have to see what the instructions are for this, but I thought that was really cute. Okay, so then this is part of like the fabric they put out for Texas. This panel, which I love, 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 is all of these Longhorns. And they had this as a quilt in one of the shops, and they had just taken some of the other fabrics and just put a couple borders on it. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. I just need to figure out how big I wanna make it, and what I need to get. And then on one of these next 2 weeks when I go out, I'm gonna get the fabric for that. So I'm excited for that. And then, so this next one, oh, I don't, they had this layer cake of this Chirp fabric, which I thought was so cute. Like, I love these little birds, and I love the colors. So I picked this up, and then I got this, which is part of the line for the backing. And I downloaded this layer cake loop pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. This is a free pattern on their website, and this is the quilt I'm going to make with that fabric. So I got lots of projects I need to get sewing. Okay, so then in another shop, I picked up these panels. I just got 2 of them, but they have a ton of different ones. I got this one, and then I got this really pretty one with the flowers. And I picked up this fabric, which is from the line, and I picked up this fabric. And I figured I would put those panels like in the middle of on the front of a project bag, and just have this around it and this at the back as well. So I thought those would be really nice project bags. And okay, so then I also came across this really cute kit, very inexpensive, and I thought this would be really, really cute. So I picked this up. No way it's getting done before this St. Patrick's Day, but maybe by next St. Patrick's Day. So, okay, so next up I have 2 quilt kits that I purchased at a shop that I visited last year, which is Cupcake Quilts, and it is in Spring, Texas, which is right on the north side of Houston. And I fell in love with a couple samples they had in the shop. They have a ton of samples. They have a lot of stuff kitted up. Super, super nice ladies. Like, they're just amazing. And so I was really excited that I was able to go back there again. So the quilt is this Bookmarks quilt right here. And they had it done in this between the lines fabric. Is that what it's called? Yeah, between the lines. And so it uses this layer cake, and I opened it up so I could show you some of the prints. They're all, it's book themed, but it's kind of subtle, except for a couple of prints that have books on them, but it's got like writing, and this stars is really pretty. This is the print I chose for the back. It's hard to see this little books. I'll show you one of the other colors. But like really pretty florals with the books. And so yeah, just really pretty fabric. There's another one of them. Now, I'd first seen this fabric when we went on a trip to Park City, Utah. So there's it's got a little fine books. And they had it done in a different, they had it done in this book pattern, and it was gorgeous. And I almost bought the kit, but then I said, you know, I need to really wait because the quilt shop hop is coming up. And I haven't read the instructions of this. I bought this last year. It looks a little intimidating, so I may make a couple other ones before I like tackle this one. But yeah. So another book pattern, and then I have a third book pattern, which is this one, which also looks kind of complicated. It says an advanced beginner, but again, I think I'm gonna practice a little bit more before I tackle this one. But I love these because I am constantly reading. I read more than I watch TV, and so I love anything to do with books. So anyway, so I got that layer cake. This is the backing, and then it's got the stripe for the binding and the white for the background. So I am super excited about making that. And then another kit that they had in the shop was this fabric put together, and this was the pattern that they used, and it is just another one of those postcard patterns. Then they have, sorry about the glare, they have a picture of like with the fabric, and it was just really pretty. They had a sample of it, and I was like, okay, I have to have that. So pretty inexpensive. And then this is a Lori Holt pattern, and this is what they had on the back. And so I got that because I really like it, and I like how it's kind of reminiscent of cross stitch, which she does as well. And so I thought that was pretty cool. And there'll be a ton of this left, so I can make some project bags and other things with it. Okay, so what else do I have to show you? That might be everything. Yeah, so, okay. So yeah, I think that's everything that I picked up on my first outing. So next week, my mother-in-law is coming into town, and she is a like expert quilter. She quilts daily and goes to like a quilting club and all of the things. And so she's coming down. She did the one in Michigan last year, the quilt shop hop, and then she's going to do that one again this year, but she's coming down and she's going to do a week with me, and we're going to go around to the local area, so Fort Worth and Dallas, and we'll see how far out we can get, because you know, that's a pretty big area, Dallas and Fort Worth. They're smushed together, but there is a pretty big span. So we'll see how far we can travel and how many stamps we can pick up. And then the week after, I'm going with Jared, my husband, to San Antonio on another work trip. And so I'm super excited. I love San Antonio, and I didn't get a chance to go down there during the shop hop last year. And so it'll be a whole new set of quilt stores to explore like while we're down there. So I'm super excited about that. I will talk about all the places I went and show you anything that I might pick up on those 2 trips in my next video. So like I said, all the details about the shop hop and the ones that are in other states, I'm gonna put down below, and I'm gonna try to link as many of the shops that I visited as I can, as well as all the fabric and quilt patterns that I showed today and that I'm planning on like working on. So okay, so yeah, until next time, I hope that you guys find something creative to do and that makes your heart happy. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.